All right, so good evening and welcome to Infinite Possibilities session number one. I am very happy that Ajay, you are here, and all my friends who will be watching the recording, I welcome you. The intention of today's session is actually, I got this idea. I'm going to be very real and raw as I share what I have to share because I believe that an authentic sharing is something that will really uh, touch you. And this is not a pre planned session where I have something at the end of it. No, this is just pure service. I just want to come here, share what I have learned so far and what I'm experiencing, and at the same time, uh, being of service to you guys. So I'll give my brief introduction. My name is Yayati Desai, and I've been a healer and a transformational life coach for the last 10 years, more than 10 years now. And I've had the privilege of working really deeply, intimately with a lot of people, one on one and in small groups. And over the years, I have got some skills. So when I got my knee surgery, which was on 5th October, as I was lying down on my bed in the hospital, I was thinking to myself that, okay, how can I make the most of this phase? Even right now, as I'm recording this video, I can't really walk on my own. I need a walker and I need someone to lift my leg and put it down and then use the walker to move around. But that's okay because I'm not complaining. In fact, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the fact that I have such a loving family who's taking care of the little needs that I have right now because I can't really move around on my own. So the I got the idea while I was in my hospital bed, and the idea came in response to a question. The question was, how can I be of service to others right now as I heal on my own journey? And an insight came in my mind. The insight was that injuries are inevitable. For me, it is a physical injury. It was a physical injury, and now I'm healing from it. But for some people, the injuries are emotional. Sometimes the injuries are mental, and sometimes the injuries can be financial. Sometimes it's a combination of two or three things. And because I have worked so deeply and intimately with a lot of people and have helped them transform, I thought, why not I utilize this time and the gifts that I have, the gift of transformation, the gift of healing. Why don't I use those skills and really support others? Because there are so many people who have some sort of injury. So that's the context behind why this infinite possibilities project was born, because I believe that, when you have life going according to your plan and then something happens. For me, it was my knee twisted while I was climbing down the stairs on my way to Scotland, and this happened while I was in London. This didn't happen in India. This happened while I was in London, and it was even more difficult for me to deal. But the only thing which I said is, this is it. Now that this has happened, what do I do next? I can't really undo what has happened. I can't really undo what has happened. However, what I can do is I can choose my response to what has happened. I can choose my response. And that is the choice which is available to each one of us. Whether we consciously are aware of it or not doesn't really matter. But anytime you think your life is going according to your plan and something happens, there's a pause. And that is the point after which either you can go on a downward negative spiral, or you can think that, okay, this is it, this has happened. For me, in my case, it is the knee injury that happened, and I couldn't really walk. So I thought, what are the possibilities right now? I could have either created in my mind that, okay, this is the worst trip of my life, first time I go to UK, and then this happens. I didn't complain, even for a moment. What I did is, I thought to myself, okay, this has happened and I am safe. At least I have a family back in London, uh, an extended family who is taking care of me. There is someone with me. I chose to focus on what was available rather than what was not available. I didn't focus on the fact that, oh, I couldn't go to Scotland, I couldn't go to Edinburgh, I couldn't go to Glasgow, I couldn't go to Birmingham, because that was all planned. My train tickets, my bus tickets, everything was planned. And I couldn't go. So the first thing which I did is I took support from people, from the experts. I take my mobile phone and I make a call to one of my friends who's an orthopedic surgeon who basically did my surgery. I call him and say, hey, this has happened. Tell me, what do I do? How do I take care in the first 48 to 72 hours? And he said, take these medicines, apply this ice, and take care. Just be immobile. Basically, keep your leg in one position and don't really take a lot of weight on it. I said, done. So that's what I did. Took rest for 4 to 5 days, and then I had those crutches. You have those crutch where you can put your weight not on your leg, but on those crutches and really help you. They help you move around. So I did that, and after that, I still went for shopping because in London, in UK, they have this something called as mobility bikes. So if you go to a mall and request that you are not really able to walk, they give you those bikes, and it's basically like an electric scooter, and you can just move around the entire place without the hassle of walking. So I did the most of whatever I could with the kind of circumstance that I was in, and that's how I chose to make the most of it. Something unexpected happened, and then I have infinite possibilities. I made a deep connection with the family that I was staying. I coached the little boy who's a 9 year old boy. His name is Moksh, and I coached him on how he can improve his performance in his exams and his studies. And he's sending me a weekly report of how things are and how he's improving. So I'm really happy about that. If this would not have happened, then there was no chance that I was going to visit them but not stay with them, but I stayed with them, and I'm really grateful to them. So this is in brief that injuries are going to happen. Injuries are inevitable. You can't really plan an injury, you can't even predict an injury. And like I said, the injuries sometimes are physical, sometimes they are emotional, sometimes they're mental, sometimes financial, and sometimes it's a combination of a lot of things. It's a combination that something happens in your career, and at the same time something is happening in your relationship. How in London the weather is really funny. That one moment, like let's say if it's 5:15 p.m. right now, it's cold, and then just 15 minutes later it's going to rain. Life is like that. You can't really predict what's going to happen. You can't really expect. But what you can do is, whenever something happens, you have the option, the choice of how you will respond to a situation. And that is what makes the difference. And that's where having a really strong mindset and having a positive attitude comes in. So it is inside of this commitment that there's a lot of people out there who have some sort of injury. And based on my healing and transformation skills that I have, I really want to support and create a community. And that's how Infinite Possibilities Project is born. And I can see Namita Arora who has joined us as well. So what I'm going to do is, this is going to be straight talk. This is going to be not a very formal setup, but this is going to be a real talk, a real, like an actual session. So what I'd invite is, if Ajay or Namita ji, if either of you would like to interact, would like to share something or get coached, now is the time to raise your hand or just unmute yourself one by one. And I'd love to take on your questions and also support you in taking your healing and transformation journey to the next level.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Ajay.
Yeah, it was a very good introduction, and what I mean, you spoke quite well, all
Thank you.
about. I mean, you could have cribbed a lot about what had happened earlier. I think last week or the last month, you
Yes.
met with an accident and then you recovered, and you said, "Oh, I." You could have said this. Oh, I wanted to see these places. These were all planned, but God had other plans. But then you chose to be grateful,
Yes.
and we should look at the um, and we should learn to be grateful for whatever we have. And that is
Absolutely.
gratitude
Absolutely.
is the best attitude, I guess. Being grateful for what we have. So
Yes.
you spoke quite well, and thanks for
Thank
letting
you,
us
Ajay.
know about the importance of gratitude.
Thank you. How can I support you today?
Mm,
Is there anything that you'd like some support or help with?
nothing really. Uh, Today is a very special day. Well, everyone is busy watching the match, I guess. October 14th. You were not aware of that. And I don't
Yeah.
know if this is the right forum to discuss that, but yeah. And everyone is glued to the TV screen watching
Well,
either
okay.
at home or
Let
at
me
no.
let me hold you. Hold
Yeah.
that.
So, what would you like to say about
All right.
cricket? It's a
This is your
people.
assumption, okay, that all people, everyone is glued to their screen. How do you know that? How can you be so sure that everyone is glued to the screen? Yes, there are people, and there are a lot of people who are watching the match. But this is how we make assumptions about situations and events that happen within us and around us. We create perception based on our assumptions, and then we keep talking about it. Whenever you assume, there's something which I share with a lot of my personal clients, and which is when you assume. So the spelling of assume is ASSUME. Whenever you assume something, you make an ass out of you and me. Nobody really benefits from the assumption. Right now, your assumption that everyone is glued to the screen is not really a harmful assumption for you personally, but there's this context which there's a distinction which says how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you're assuming this, what I invite you to consider is, where are other areas in your life where you are assuming something and acting based on that assumption? And maybe because of that assumption, you get hurt emotionally, you have pain psychologically, or it's a combination of both.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, how you look at things, your perceptions, how you look at things, all those things matter because whatever you assume may not be correct. See, like I'm not watching the match right now, but yes, when I returned from office, see, I left at 4:10 and reached at 4:45 or so. And I found that not many people were there on the road. So, of course, they were busy watching. I just assumed
Yeah.
probably I was right, but not everyone. See,
Yes,
I am not
exactly.
watching the match right now.
Yeah.
And
And
some others,
you are a part of the crowd. You are also a part of the everyone that you are assuming. I am part of the everyone that you are assuming. So the only thing which I want to bring to your attention is that don't assume, and rather than assumption, check for the facts. If there's an assumption with someone, if you have an assumption with someone at the moment, why don't you check it out with them? Why don't you go and ask them that, hey, this is what I've been assuming, but what's the matter of the fact? Like, what's the fact in this matter? Sorry. What's the fact in this matter? Uh, that's what I would invite you to do. So don't assume, always ask.
that's great. Carry on.
Awesome. Beautiful. Well, the other thing which I wanted to share is the power of writing things down, which is whenever you face any problem or challenge, some many a times we try to figure it all out in our head. We want to find the solution, but what I would recommend is, if you really want to accelerate your healing and transformation journey, first of all, be clear about what exactly is the problem. What is the problem? Because a problem well defined is half solved. Like, if you define a problem properly, well, know that half of the solution, maybe sometimes even 80% of solution, you'll already get uh, if you define the problem properly. So whatever challenges, and again, when this happened for me, I didn't look at it as a challenge. I looked at it as a situation. Then there is a difference. I could have called it a disaster, I could have called it a challenge, and I chose to call it a situation. So what this means is that what how you like the words that you use matters. The words that you use matter. If I would have used, oh, the disaster happened while I was on my trip to London, I would see things differently. And even the friends that I would share this with, online or offline, they would see different that, oh, a disaster happened in Yayati's life. Scenario number two, a challenge happened. Now, a disaster is like here, over here on the top. A challenge is like somewhere in between. Okay, a challenge happened, a difficult situation has happened. So if I tell myself that, oh, a difficult situation has happened, then that would create more panic within me. That would create more anxiety, probably, more fear, more uncertainty within me. And when I called it a situation, then I was neutral about it. I was not really emotionally attached, and I wasn't really being too optimistic or positive as well. I was just seeing things as they are. So, this is another power, this is another skill that if you cultivate, which is seeing things as they are, that is going to help you go a long way in life, whether it's your personal life or your professional life. It's going to really help you go a long way because you're not really emotionally attached to something. When you're emotionally attached to something, your judgment is clouded by the emotions. And there's a wonderful saying which says, when emotions are high, intelligence is low. When you are high in emotions, you can't really think clearly. That's why it said, don't make any decision when you are in an emotional state, either too happy or too sad. Because those are the decisions that most of the time you end up regretting because you took it from an emotional standpoint. So, when emotions are high, intelligence is low, please don't make any major decisions in your life. And the nature of emotions is they are wave, they're kind of waves, a wave rises and then it falls, it rises then it falls. Similarly, you are not going to experience the emotion that you have forever. It feels like that it's going to last forever, but it doesn't. Look at your own life experience. Have you been angry forever? Have you been sad forever? Have you been happy forever? No, right? There have been cycles. So similar, next time when you have an emotional cycle, remember it's a cycle. If it's too high, then it's going to go down. So allow that neutral state. That's what Buddha says. Don't live on any extremes, either too happy or too sad. Choose the middle path. Because when you're centered, when you're in the middle, you're able to think clearly, you're able to see things as they are, and then make better choices. And when you make better choices and better decisions, that leads to better life situations, and that ultimately leads to better life results. So if you want to accelerate your healing and transformation, first of all, define your problem. That's step one. Step number two is, don't try to solve it on your own. Rather, see who is the expert in this field. Who can I seek help from? In my case, when the knee situation happened, I didn't go to Google and search that, oh, this knee buckling happening. What should I do? I can't really take weight. No, I called my orthopedic doctor friend. I called my physiotherapist friend. I called them immediately and I told them my situation and then acted based on their guidance. So, this is another very important step, which is, if you ask for expert guidance, then follow it. Don't really try to reinvent the wheel because that ways it will take a lot of time for you and you'll end up wasting a lot of time. So, don't do that. Step number one, define the problem. Step number two, seek an expert, seek a coach, seek a mentor, seek a doctor, whoever is applicable in your situation. Seek a career coach, maybe, if it's a career situation. But when you go to an expert, then follow their expertise, follow their advice, because they're an expert for a reason. And then when I created something really small, which is FSI. If you want faster healing and faster success, FSI, apply the principle of FSI. Now, what does FSI stand for? FSI stands for follow simple instructions. Follow simple instructions. Because when you've been given a path and when you follow simple instructions without using a lot of your thinking, which is not really helping you anyway, that creates the inner resistance. And when you remove the inner resistance, you're more in action. When you're more in action, you are more in control. And when you're more in control, you feel more powerful and you feel more confident. So that is the secret of confidence. Confidence is not a prerequisite to do something. It happens along the way. You learn things along the way. Like when my injury happened, my confidence maybe was at let's say a 3 on 10 in terms of how I will deal with it. But after taking rest for 5 days, my confidence was a 6 on 10. When I went out on my own with the crutches and traveled in the train and then the bus and moved around, my confidence went up. Was my speed as much as I would have normally walked? No, it was not. So a 5 minute walk was taking me 15 minutes, almost three times, double or three times the time than it would normally take me. But I was fine with it because I accepted the situation. I was not fighting with it. I was not denying it. So I followed the simple instructions given by my doctor friend. I took the medicines. I did the icing. I took the rest, and that is what accelerated my healing and transformation journey. So this is what I had to share for today, which is how can you accelerate your healing and transformation? First of all, know your problem. Second, seek an expert. Number three, once you get the guidance from the expert, follow simple instructions. And number four, keep in touch. So report what you've done so that they can see what you've done and rectify or correct if there's something that you're missing. And if you follow these simple 4 steps, I think you will be able to really accelerate your transformation, whatever that transformation means to you. Could be a personal or a professional transformation. So I hope that was helpful. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me, or else we can complete the session for now. And yeah.
Well, I don't have any questions at the moment. Thanks
Okay.
for your valuable input. You seem like all about dealing with challenges, yeah, overcoming obstacles. These are all very important. See, what I've realized is how to deal with success is one thing, but how to deal with failure.
Yeah.
I Yeah, I really like the movie Chichore,
Mm-hmm.
starring Sushant Singh Rajput and Shraddha Kapoor. That
Yes.
it's all about dealing with failures in life.
Correct.
See, knowing how to deal with the victory is one thing, but knowing how to deal with personal losses, it could be financial loss, it could be loss in any way. Or so if you lose something, either money or friends or whatever, you know how to deal with that,
Correct.
how to deal with challenges, overcome obstacles. That is what matters.
Yes.
See,
Yes.
and even in today's case, see, I don't know. Well, I can't predict the future, whether India will win, Pakistan will win.
Yeah.
God is the only one who knows. Well, but see, we need to know how to deal with yeah. See, I'm quite sure India will win, but let's see.
Yeah. Let's say exactly. Instead of assuming and what happens, sometimes all you need to do is give it time. Give it time, and in at the right time, you will come to know the results, the outcome. And
Yeah,
every result is again neutral. If India wins, Indians will be happy, Pakistanis will not be happy. And if Pakistan wins, Pakistanis will be happy and Indians will not be happy. You see, there will always be someone who is unhappy, no matter what the outcome.
that's true.
Yeah. So that's the lesson and that's the learning, that give it time, and yeah, just be happy with where you are and love the process. Fall in love with the process of living. Fall in love with the process of really living life, and live life as an experiment, as a mystery. Uh, rather than trying to solve it. Just live the mystery, because you can't really solve. I couldn't have predicted while I was going to UK that this would happen on my trip, and it happened. And this is my reality now. And I'm healing, and I'm healing rapidly and magically. That's why every time someone asks me that, hey, how are you? I would say, I am good. Thank you. Thank you for asking. And I will also add this line, which is, I am healing rapidly and magically. And that was intentional, because every time I keep saying that to me, my body listens. And when my body listens, it responds in that way.
And you
Basically,
feel better.
yeah, and you feel better. Exactly. Because you're creating a positive environment, which is fabulous.
And the
So,
universe also conspires uh,
absolutely. Universe is
make you
always
feel to make you feel better.
Universe is always saying tathastu. So be it. So if I say I'm healing rapidly and magically, tathastu. If I say, oh, this sucks, this is so bad, this is absolutely shit, I shouldn't have been in this shitty situation. Well, tathastu, you'll have more of it. So the more you complain about something, the more it persists. So if you want something to change, stop complaining about it. And others, look at the blessings, look at the good things that you have, and start creating through your language as to what it means. Like, what do you want? State it in the present tense and start saying it out loud. Now you need to believe it in it first. Whether others believe it or not, that's secondary. Because if you have that self belief, there will come a time where others will start believing in you. They will start believing in what you're saying, and you'll start seeing the results. So that has been my experience, and this is called using the power of generative language. How you speak things into existence really depends on the words that you choose and the stories that you choose to tell outside and especially inside of you. So I hope that was helpful, and thank you for being here. And thank you those for those who are watching this recording. Thank you for taking the time to watch this recording. Please share your insights in the comment section below, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments so that in the next session, whenever we have it, I can address that. And if you're live, I would love to interact with you one on one as well. And so that's about it for today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a lovely audience, Ajay.
Oh,
I really appreciate.
audience. Yeah, I'm
Yes,
the yeah,
yes.
yeah, just one, but
Even though
she was
you're
also
even
Aurora, someone.
just
She
one,
was the,
but there are millions of cells within you, Ajay. You're not just one entity that I'm looking you at. I'm looking at you as one who represents the thousands and the millions. Because in this session, it's just one. In the next session, maybe there are 10. And in the future, let's say 2 to 3 years from now, there will be millions who will be attending. And you were the first one to attend the Infinite Possibilities project. So please accept my gratitude and thank you for
oh,
your questions. Thank you for your insights. I really, really, really appreciate you. Thank you.
yeah, most probably. It was a very nice session. Thank you. Thanks a
You're
lot
welcome.
for sharing all your insights.
Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks a lot. Take care and enjoy. Do watch the match. I mean, I don't know if you're interested in cricket, but yeah, I don't know. Uh, just need
Thank
to ask someone what the score and all. Okay, I can watch now, but may the best team win.
you.
I can't
Absolutely.
predict the outcome, but
Yes.
yeah, but how to deal with failure in case, see, this is where a sports coach also comes into the picture. Just reminded, see, how to deal with any victory is one thing, but how to deal with the failure or a setback. Say if a particular team, your favorite football team loses, and how would you support him or her or that
Hmm.
particular team? Okay, one person or the team of 11, 10 people. So that is my question. Sports.
Say,
Because
say that.
today,
How to deal with failure?
yeah, how would you support a sports person?
Well, I would first of so I have worked with an international athlete in table tennis. He has won the gold medal at the Commonwealth Games, and the way to deal with sports person. This is why I love sports, even though I'm not watching the match as of now. But what I love about sports is it teaches you to deal with failure. It teaches you to deal with things as they are. For example, the match that's going on right now. Okay, let's do this on the spot live. Okay, let me check the score right now. India Pakistan match. Okay, the score is 191 all out in 42.5 overs. Okay, and India is yet to bat.
Oh,
It's break time right now.
oh, good. You made good progress, and I
Now, what
left
does this
the.
mean? What does this mean? That a scoreboard in sports, a scoreboard never lies. A scoreboard states things as they are. Sports teaches you to deal with what is in front of you. So right now, in the mind of Indian team and all the Indians, they're thinking, how can we make 192 at the earliest? And in the minds of the Pakistani cricketers and the entire team and their staff, what's going on in their head is, how do we make sure that we make the Indian cricket team all out before they reach 191 score,
Right,
right? So it's just the way, this is reality. I don't know if you can see it, but this is reality right now. 191 is the score.
oh,
And
because
the results in your life that you currently have are like the scoreboard. Now, a Pakistani, let's say a fan, he might fight with the fact that, oh, 191 nahi hona chahiye. It should be
right,
more. It should not be this. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए था, लेकिन ये हुआ है. This is what it is. So when you learn to deal with things as they are, you're able to adapt and then take the next steps. Otherwise, you'll always be in denial and you'll be in a fantasy zone. So the way to deal with failure is seeing things as they are and then taking the corrective actions. Let's say, let's say that India wins this match and Pakistan does not. So the Pakistanis, they might feel bad for a day or two, but they're not going to take that emotion into the next match, because if they do, their performance is going to go down.
right,
So the best way to deal with failure is accepting things as they are, and then thinking of a corrective action that they can take in the next match or in the next life decision or in the next life situation that you have. That's what I would recommend, and this is how I have coached my sports clients.
great.
Excellent. Thank you for your question, Ajay. I really appreciate that.
Yes. So when you said 191 for, I mean, all over in 42 overs, I was like pretty happy because when I left at 410, people were scoring boundaries after boundaries, and I was very worried. And I thought, okay, might as well attend the session. Might be more interesting than
And
the
this
match.
is this is what is a great learning, which is at any point of time, the game of your life can change. So don't give up.
Ooh.
If you assume that, oh, they're scoring so much, they're scoring well, Pakistan is playing well, it's not going to be an interesting match. Well, you never know. So similarly, you
Right,
never know your game of life. It can change at any point of time. You might be thinking that, oh, I'm working so hard since the last 6 7 years, and yet nothing is happening. Hey, don't give up yet. Things can change at any moment. If you keep putting in the effort, if you keep putting in with the right intent, things can change at any moment, and life can really surprise you with really wonderful and beautiful things.
right. How things changed in just 25 minutes. I was
Yep.
surprised. Oh, 25, okay, maybe 25 minutes and a little after that. We can say
Yes.
just an hour. It's been
Absolutely.
50 minutes, 45, 50 minutes, and so much has changed all out in just 42 hours. That's
Yes.
incredible.
Yeah. So this is what infinite possibilities mean, that no matter what happens in your life, there are infinite possibilities and anything can happen. So choose to believe in the power of possibilities and live in a possibility world, have possibility thinking, and that is what it will create a lot of possible, beautiful, amazing results for you. And with this, I declare today's session as complete. And thank you. And I look forward to seeing you in the next upcoming sessions.
Okay, take care.
Yeah.
Bye.